Well met. Olga sure can tell a good story. I'm not normally a big fan of bards' tales, but she's got some good ones. She can spin a yarn, that's for sure.
You guys
Goodbye.
brothers?
Well met.
Olav? Ognar the World-Weary?
What can I do for you today?
Wait.
Good journey to you. What can I do for you, Sir Knight?
Bruma.
Bruma is a perfect town for a Nord man of leisure. Bracing mountain air, good food and drink, and lively Nord fellowship.
Hey, I'm talking
Bye.
backwards.
Yes?
There you go. That was annoying.
I was at Olav's earlier, and I ran into this Dunmer named Raynil Dralas. After a round or two, he told me he was an honest-to-goodness vampire hunter.
There we go. Alright, cool.
Yes, the he seemed to be.
Alright, so he
Take
says something.
care.
Alright, so let's talk to Olav here.
What can I do for you today?
Bradon Lirrian.
I know I may be out of line by saying this, but I think the city guards may be wrong. It's hard to imagine Bradon was a vampire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I could have sworn I saw him outside in the daylight before. Unless he just got that disease very recently, I'd say they were mistaken. When I heard Raynil killed him, I didn't know what to think. But after your visit here, I'm beginning to wonder.
It's funny how it's a disease in this game, like in this series as a whole. Yeah, that's really interesting. Rumors.
Sirach is a good healer. He's a red guard, but you'd think he was a Nord the way he acts.
Alright, talk to me about Raynil Dralas.
I usually don't give out that kind of information, especially to people I don't know.
Oh, so I gotta persuade you, okay.
Go ahead.
Not a problem, sir.
I'm not buying that one. You're
All right.
full of it. Whatever you want. Sure, that's cute. You're pathetic. Yes, yes, whatever you say.
Damn.
Don't be silly. Not bad. Not bad at all. I doubt you really... You're pathetic. No more. You're frightening me. You're full of... I doubt... Whatever you want. That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right, I get it.
So, now do you have information for Raynil Dralas?
Raynil's staying in the last room down the hall upstairs.
Wow.
Here's the key.
Okay.
I always liked Bradon and Erline. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either.
That was a little too easy, bro. Alright, let's check out my quest log here. So after the first entry, I've entered the house of Bradon Lirrian and Bruma. A guard named Carius Runellius has told me that this was the scene of a crime, and unless I was a guard or someone named Raynil Dralas, I should leave. I've spoken to Carius Runellius, an investigator for the Room of Cedar Watch. At the crime scene, he says that Raynil slipped into the house undetected and killed a vampire in its sleep around noon. The wife wasn't home as she works during the day. Also, the body of an unidentified beggar has been found stashed in Bradon's house. I should question Bradon's wife if I want to investigate further. Then Bradon's wife, Erline, told me her husband is innocent. She says that he simply works at night and sleeps during the day. She also suspects that someone must have planted that body of the beggar. She seemed to cast a suspicious light on Raynil, whom she says she recognizes. I think I should locate Raynil and ask him some questions as well. I should start with some of the merchants and innkeepers in town. I've spoken to Olav at Olav's Tap and Tack. I was able to convince him to give me the key to Raynil's room. He told me that it was up the stairs and at the end of the hall. That should be my next destination. Alright. Let's go upstairs. I think he said this one, right? Yep. Raynil's room key. I've entered Raynil's room. I should carefully search the place for anything suspicious. There it is. Gelebourne's journal. Gelebourne. I've discovered a small journal in Raynil's room at the inn. It seems he was part of a group of adventurers who uncovered an artifact of some sort from some alien ruins. They all agreed to stash the artifact in a cave until more research could be done about it. Each of them took a key to the chest it was secured in. The two other members of the group were Bradon and someone named Gelebourne. I need to find out more about Gelebourne to confirm my suspicions about Raynil. Olav may be able to help. Why does Gelebourne sound familiar? Let's see. So the 8th day has passed. How many? There's 8 pages. Wow. The 8th day has passed, and still there's no sign of the artifact. We've covered most of the remainder of the outer guard tower and scoured the crumbled gatehouse ruins, but not one clue has arisen as to where it may have been buried. It's quiet out here, as if the ruins were paying respects to the Ayleid inhabitants that disappeared here long ago. We haven't encountered anything hostile, but if we do, I think we're ready. The Brotherhood's been in worse scrapes before. Bradon paid good money for the information as to our treasure's whereabouts, and I hope it doesn't turn out to be yet another fiasco. This morning, our camp was set upon by some bandits who were protecting what they claimed was their territory. Considering that we were outnumbered 3-1, we did very well. Only Raynil suffered a small wound, but that was easily healed by a potion that Bradon had thoughtfully brought with him on our expedition. After getting rid of the bandits' corpses, we set out to tackle the largest part of the ruin, the remains of the Great Keep. 2 of the walls of the once mighty structure were collapsed, scattering the telltale whitish rocks so typical of the Ayleid architecture in this part of Tamriel. This made our assault on the ruin difficult, as many of the larger chunks of wall were far too heavy for us to move. Bradon suggested that we search the center of the building's foundation for any underground entrances, which was typical for this type of keep. His guess paid off, and after several hours of backbreaking work, we managed to clear an opening just large enough for us to squeeze through and enter an ancient stairwell leading down into the ground. We decided to wait until the morning's light to begin our descent into the depths of the ruin. After a restless sleep, all of us were quite excited at the prospect of what might lie ahead. Eagerly, we dipped our torches in a fresh container of pitch, lit them, and entered the inky blackness of the stairwell. The stale air was choked with dust and fine grit, a sign that no one had entered this portion of the ruins in a very long time. We became excited, as that meant no other tomb robbers had gotten there before us. The stairwell eventually leveled out into a corridor of sorts that snaked its way to the north. As we carefully walked along, I scanned the floor and walls very carefully for any type of triggers, tripwires, or pressure plates. Such was my specialty. The Ayleid were well known for their cunning traps protecting their tombs, and I wasn't taking any chances. Bradon, the scholar of the Brotherhood, was getting more and more excited as we traversed the passage. He was translating the wall carvings and was becoming certain that we had finally found the true location of our prize. After walking for several more minutes, we were overjoyed to see what we were hoping to see. The hallway ended at a metal door with the carving of a spider upon it. Now came the true test of Bradon's information. The door supposedly had a puzzle lock. By pulling the spider legs in a certain combination, it would unlatch. The wrong combination would spell our deaths, perhaps triggering a collapse of the hallway or some other equally deadly trap. With a shaky hand, I pulled the legs one by one in the order I had memorized. The 6th one, then the 1st one, then the 2nd one, then the 8th one, and finally the 1st one again. I closed my eyes as there were a few loud clicks, and then the door popped open. We all breathed a sigh of relief. Pushing open the door, I looked in at a huge room with a pedestal at the center. Sitting on the pedestal, illuminated by a shaft of sunlight from a tiny hole in the ceiling, was our prize. The floor was covered in a huge mosaic of a stylized spider, all 8 of its legs coming to a point and ending up at the door entrance. This was the last of the traps that Ayleid had left behind to protect their treasure. Again, if it hadn't been for Bradon's skill at acquiring information, we may have never had known how to solve this last line of defense. I instructed Bradon and Raynil to remain at the entrance and to tie a rope around my waist in case of a sudden pitfall. Carefully, I began to walk on the darkened tiles that formed the 3rd leg of the spider. Sweat beaded on my forehead as the path made by the tiny pieces of ceramic was very narrow at the start, and one slip could again mean instant death. But death never arrived. The information had been correct, and I was able to make it to the pedestal and secure the artifact. Quickly as possible, we made our way back out into the daylight. Once again, the Brotherhood was triumphant, and it was time to return home. At the tavern that night, we decided to make a pact. We would stash the artifact in a cave not far from Bruma until we researched it further. An item of its magnitude could be very dangerous if mishandled, and we certainly didn't want to sell it without understanding its true value. Bradon agreed to contract a local cooper to construct a chest with 3 locks. Each of us would hold a key to one of the locks, so no one would have access to the artifact without the others having been present. For the for the rest of the evening, we drank merrily and sang many a song of adventures past and adventures to come. Okay. So, let's talk to Olav again.
What can I do for you today?
So, Gelebourne, why does that sound familiar? Raynil Dralas.
And nothing else I can tell you about him. He comes and goes and doesn't talk to people much.
Okay, Gelebourne.
Gelebourne? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raynil told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelebourne down and killed him. That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raynil and his so-called accomplishment.
Alright.
Just look for me if you need anything. Just look for me if you need anything else.
Alright, that's it. Let's see. So, I've discovered a small journal in Raynil's... let's see. The innkeeper, Olav, told me that Gelebourne was slain in Skingrad by none other than Raynil. As with Bradon, Raynil claimed Gelebourne was a vampire. I think Raynil is using the vampire as a cover story to get the keys to the chest where they stashed the artifact. I think it's time to speak to Carius Runellius about Raynil. He must be stopped.
How are you today?
So let's go back, I think, to the house.
You look like a bright one.
Assuming he's still in here, yep. Where exactly, though?
Hello.
So the body's gone.
Oh, you're back.
Is the body over here still here? Oh, there was. Oh, there was a body here. I guess I should have looked at it before. And the fact that he works at night, I mean, that makes sense that he's part of the Brotherhood.
So, any new revelations?
Alright, Gelebourne.
How'd you know about that? Too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Gelebourne was killed by Raynil not too long ago. Gelebourne was a vampire as well, obviously.
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Gelebourne was not a vampire?
I have Gelebourne's journal.
I don't know what to say.
Yo.
It all makes perfect sense now. Why else would Raynil have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either. It must have been removed by Raynil from Bradon's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed, and that I'm responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless. I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olav's Tap and Tack in 1 hour.
Yo, innocent men? Did you
Hello.
read the freaking journal at all?
Do you have any more questions? I'm afraid I know little more.
Yo.
Yes. I remember Bradon mentioning that name once. He was part of the Brotherhood he had created with Raynil.
Oh yeah, the Brotherhood
know
that
I
he
sound
created.
desperate,
Yeah,
but
sure.
I
Alright. Do these people know what the... I mean, it's a secretive faction, so I guess that makes sense. But damn, bro. Wait, where, Alright, I know that... Wait. Let me get rid of this marker now.
You're the Divine Crusader. Anything else I can help with? Just look.
Alright. Just wait 1 hour.
Just before I arrived here, I received a report from one of our scouts watching the roads. Raynil was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Gelebourne's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape. I'm keeping the city guard in Bruma, as Raynil doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment.
Oh.
Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him.
All of a sudden, I'm useful to you, huh? Gelebourne.
Raynil will pay for both crimes. Gelebourne was likely another innocent he's slain. I'll make sure Skingrad's City Watch hears of this. I can't wait to get my hands on Raynil. He'll become very familiar with Bruma's dungeons, or the end of my blade if he doesn't come peacefully.
I mean, I think the end of my blade, let's be honest here.
If all you say is true, Raynil will answer for Bradon's death. Please hurry. Raynil may make a break for the open road at any moment.
Alright, so I think this is like actually like a quest. One of the quests is like limited time, where you actually have to finish it within a matter of time at this point. So I think I have like a day from this point on, or something like that. Not 100% sure. But basically, what that means is that I do not want to like waste any time, first of all. I don't want to fast travel anywhere, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk out of here. It's not too far, so I don't necessarily need my horse. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to exit from here, and it's about 370 steps away, so I'm going to go ahead and just run over there as fast as I can. Thankfully I have a lot of stamina and stuff, so... Who the hell? What is happening? Who are you guys? What? Are you... What? Yo, he's just hunting... He's just hunting deer! Yo, that was nuts. Funny, but nuts. I was like, yo... There's an alien drone right there. What's that? Bear? Hello, bear. I keep hearing bows going off. Alright, Borealstone Cave. This is actually a very small cave. It literally... I've arrived at Borealstone Cave. So, it literally just has like one massive room. Like one large passageway. Hello?
Congratulations.
Oh, okay.
I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part. I saw you enter Olav's tap and tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer.
You will not surrender then?
Certainly not. I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here. But then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low here for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom.
You know, it's funny, like, they see me coming up to them with, like, crazy-looking armor. Which, you know, some people even know me as a Divine Crusader. Like, I literally killed a god, essentially, and they still like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna fight you. I think I have a chance. Well, anyway, this is your last chance, sir.
Yes, I suppose it is. Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck.
Bruh. What's up, bro?
Am I supposed to be impressed?
His voice was pretty cool, though. Come on, man. Goodbye. I've located Raynil in Boreal Stone Cave. He refused to surrender, choosing instead to attack me. I was forced to kill him to defend myself. I can now recover the artifact mentioned in Gelebourne's journal from the chest. Grab his longsword. Let me grab the other keys. All the glass armor that he has, including his key. And that's it. Opening the waterlogged chest with all 3 keys, I discovered the artifact to be an amulet. It seemed fairly unremarkable, and I'm unsure of its function. I think I should bring it back to Raynil Dralas and see what she wants me to do with it. A mundane amulet. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Looks fairly fancy. Okay, so other than this room, there's like a little passage over here, which leads to a chest here, and then a chest on the other side. That's pretty much it. There really isn't anything else in this cave, so now we can travel back since he's dead, and there's no longer a timed aspect in this quest. We could just travel back to the wife. And I can actually travel now. There's enemies here, but alright. Because I can't fast travel, so I gotta run. Okay. So, let's fast travel back.
Hello.
Alright. Erline.
What news do you bring?
Raynil Dralas is
I
dead.
knew I recognized Raynil. I think when I first met Bradon many years ago, he introduced me to him. They were part of some sort of brotherhood. They would roam Cyrodiil in search of legendary treasures and the like. The only reason he stopped doing that is because we got married and he wanted to settle down. I'm afraid thanks to Raynil, that time is lost.
Maybe... I don't know, maybe it wasn't the Brotherhood that I'm thinking of, but alright. Mundane amulet.
Long ago, I made a promise to Bradon. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now. However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Bradon would understand why I'm breaking that pact. Bradon told me about this amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state.
That's a fancy enchantment. Did the word die with Bradon?
No. He always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Bradon's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed, only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered.
Certainly, here it is.
Thank you. I will now speak the word Brotherhood. Here is the amulet back.
Brotherhood.
As beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Bradon would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel.
Alright, Phylactery of Lithness.
I'm glad he's dead. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I think you understand.
Alright.
Justice has been done.
Yes, it has. Okay, so that is it. Erline was pleased that I stopped Raynil. She told me that as an extra precaution, Bradon had command word protection put on the amulet, so no one could steal it and use it without his knowledge. Fortunately, Erline was given the command word after giving it to her. She said the word, and the true nature of the item was revealed. The phylactery of lithness. She then said I could keep it, the item, as a token of her thanks. So let's take a look at this. Where is it at? Down here. Looks the same. It looks silver now, actually. Fortify speed by 10 points. That's kind of garbage. Okay, I mean, it's cool. It's worth a lot of money, so it's not bad. But anyway, so let's take a look at some of the notes here for this quest. So, unlike other quests, you actually have a time limit in this quest. If you do not go to the cave within 24 hours after Carius tells you to go there, Raynil will actually escape to Morrowind and you will receive no reward. Alright, and then additional notes. Attempting to activate Bradon's body will inform that repeated tampering with Bradon's corpse is a crime and will alert the authorities. Activate it again and you will acquire a bounty of 100 septims regardless of whether or not you have been seen. That's nuts. You can pickpocket the keys from Raynil and open the chest without fighting him. You will receive the subsequent quest update without telling you to take the amulet to Erline. She will reveal the amulet's true nature completing the quest. Raynil will remain in Borealstone Cave as a non-hostile NPC. With no persuasion or dialogue options. Interesting. If you do not wish to fight Raynil, engage in fighting him and run out of the cave. Try to run by wolves or bandits as they will attack Raynil. As you reach Bruma, Raynil will die and you just have to go back and search his body. Retrieve the keys and continue on with the quest. This works well if you are a lower level. Alright, and that's pretty much it. This was actually pretty cool, I must say. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that some of these side quests are pretty dope in this game. But with that is the Brotherhood Betrayed quest, and like I said before, that is the final side quest in the town of Bruma, which means that other than buying a house in Bruma, we are pretty much done here. So we can move on to a different town.